Well, this isn't really a review, but a preview, so close enough. Today we're going to count down my top 9 most anticipated films of 2016. Why top 9? Because I like to go one step back. Well, frankly, there are only 9 projects I'm really excited about this year, so that's all I've got to work with. Yep. Number 9, Daredevil Season 2. Yeah, I know this one really isn't a movie, but it's my list so I can do what I want, okay? While it's true I wasn't overly impressed with the first season, and you can check out my full review for that, I generally enjoyed the cast, and with Daredevil's growing pains out of the way, now we can hopefully hit the ground running. They have the stage set for a showdown with perennial DD guest star The Punisher, played by Jon Bernthal, and Elodie Yung as DD's femme fatale Elektra. I think The Punisher works best when he's placed opposite someone with an opposing ideology, like Spidey, Cap, or Daredevil, so I'm very pleased they chose to put him in the second season. Daredevil Season 2 is set to release March 18th on Netflix. Number 8, Star Wars Rogue One. Can't say I know what to expect from this one. This will be the first Star Wars anthology film set between episodes 3 and 4 and tells of the brave rebels that stole the Death Star plans for Princess Leia. I'll be honest, as someone who wasn't entirely impressed with The Force Awakens or Star Wars Rebels, both of which at least contain some form of Jedi, I'm not really sure to what extent I'll enjoy this film. But it has some interesting names attached, such as Mads Mikkelsen, Felicity Jones, and Forrest Whitaker. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is set for December 16th. Number 7, Doctor Strange. Probably the last of the classic Stan Lee creations to get the big screen treatment. Doctor Strange, being the master of mystic arts, is sort of an acquired taste. But I'm sure that the Marvel magic will be strong with him. In any case, he has a very cool origin which, if done right, as in the Marvel animated film, should be very powerful indeed. Benedict Cumberbatch plays the Sorcerer Supreme along with a cast including Tilda Swinton, Rachel McAdams, and Mads Mikkelsen. Boy, he sure gets around. Doctor Strange is set to cast his spell on November 4th. Number 6, Star Trek Beyond. With J.J. Abrams jumping franchises for that other sci-fi opera, Justin Lin steps into the director's chair for this third film of the rebooted trilogy, just in time for Star Trek's 50th anniversary. The little I've seen of the film from the trailer has me somewhat optimistic. Apparently the crew of the Enterprise is enslaved by some alien race led by Idris Elba. Kirk finds help by an exotic alien babe played by Sofia Boutella. I have sort of a love-hate affair with this series as much as anybody. A pretty great cast, but it rarely feels like Star Trek. I'm hoping for a lot less of the Spock-Uhura romance, which I thought was a mistake from the get-go, and a lot more interaction between Kirk, Spock, and McCoy this time around. Star Trek Beyond sets sail on July 22nd. Number 5, X-Men Apocalypse. Coming off one of the strongest films in the X saga, Days of Future Past, the cast led by James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender jump yet another 10 years into the future, into the 80s. We finally get to see fan favorites Storm, Cyclops, and Jean Grey recruited to the team along with one of my all-time favorite X-Men, the much-neglected Nightcrawler. This film promises to have its share of controversy, with Apocalypse claiming to be the world's answer to religion. As a person of faith myself, I'm wondering just how outrageous this film intends to be. The X-Men universe is hardly the most faith-friendly franchise to begin with, given its ties to the theory of evolution, but I'm hoping Nightcrawler is a sign that they'll also have people of faith well represented. I also really hope that they'll go through with the storyline of Kurt being Raven's son. The timeline would support it. As of now, no word on Hugh Jackman's involvement. With his time as Logan winding down, I hope he's included here. Bryan Singer is back to direct, and he hasn't disappointed yet. On an X-Men film, that is. X-Men Apocalypse gets ready to blow our minds on May 27th. Number 4, Suicide Squad. I really don't know what to expect from this film of all the films coming out this year, and I guess that's what most excites me about it. I suppose its biggest draw is Margot Robbie, who appears to be a pitch-perfect Harley Quinn, a character I've been hoping to see on film for several years. This seems to be an origin for Harley, what with a major role for the Joker, now being played by Jared Leto. Yeah, I don't like the metal teeth or the tats, but Joker is a great character, and I'm happy that they're not going to just shelve him for years after the tragic passing of Heath Ledger. We also have Will Smith in the film as Deadshot, a cameo by Ben Affleck's Batman, and Viola Davis pulling the squad's collective strings as Amanda Waller. Suicide Squad takes dead aim on August 5th. Number 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows. Yeah, I know the first movie in this series was pretty lacking to say the least, and the Turtles are still butt ugly. But judging from the trailer, they've finally given us the Turtles movie that we've been dying to see. Bebop and Rocksteady, Baxter Stockman, Foot Clan soldiers that are actual ninjas, Arrow's Stephen Amell as Casey Jones, and ever-loving Krang. They seem to be doing everything right this time. But is it too little too late? I think my only fear is that this film is going to go down like the Scooby-Doo sequel. As a Scooby-Doo fan, I outright hated the first film, so I stayed away from the sequel, only to watch it on cable and find out it was actually pretty enjoyable and faithful to the original show. But the lack of interest in the sequel due to the poor reception of the first film pretty much killed the franchise. Could the same thing happen here? Did Turtle fans burn their bridges with these films? We'll find out when the Turtles come out of the shadows on June 3rd. Number 2. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. After a pretty abysmal opening act with Man of Steel, it's easy to be down on this film. But let's face it, it's freaking Batman vs. Superman. Of course I'll be there. Here, take my money now. I've been waiting to see these two titans on the big screen forever. I really like the cast. The good thing about Man of Steel was its cast. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman and Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I only wanted them in a better story. This could be it. Cavill finally gets a chance to play Clark. As one of the few people willing to admit I actually really like Ben Affleck's Daredevil film, I have full confidence in Affleck's Batman. My lone concern might be Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, but as an unapologetic fan of Gene Hackman's more humorous take on Luthor, I'm willing to reserve judgment for now. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman is also an intriguing question mark. Batman v Superman takes flight March 25th. And the number one film I'm looking forward to this year, 2016? Captain America: Civil War. This one edges Batman v Superman in that I'm a bit more invested in these characters at this point. It's Cap versus Iron Man in what could be potentially Robert Downey Jr.'s swan song in the MCU. Who isn't excited by the return of the new Avengers with the inclusion of Ant-Man, the introduction of Black Panther, and Spider-Man back at home in the MCU where he belongs? Baron Zemo and Crossbones on hand to bring on the villainy, and of course the return of Bucky Barnes. Phase 3 kicks off the war on May 6th. What 2016 films are you guys most excited about? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe if you're so inclined. This is Johnnie Torch reminding you once again, keep the flame burning brightly, and I'll be with you again real soon.